Yeah, I'd say kia ora, good afternoon everyone, and hola como estás? Good to have our Argentinian brothers in the room. Thank you.
Scott, you've had your first chance in July of being an international head coach. You've had a few weeks off. How itching are you to get back into the Rugby Championship?
Yeah, a couple of weeks feels like a long time. Which is good to get back in around the group and part of a team and come out here to NZCIS, who's got a great setup for us. And then respect a good Argentinian team, we're having a really good week.
Just on the changes you've made to the squad, or the squad that you've named, just in particular, Sam Darry, also the halfbacks in the midfield. Could you just run us through the thinking, and was it a tricky decision?
Yeah, obviously with Patrick, I had a calf injury, so Sam comes in and Josh Lord's come back from a couple of games, so perfect timing for us. You know, there's some fresh blood coming through with the second rows, the locks, and, you know, Sam's been impressive since he's come in, and Josh has, you know, worn the black jersey before, and he'll get straight up to the mark and standard.
So, how did you settle on centre and going for Anton Leonard-Brown this week? What were the key factors behind that decision?
Yeah, we talked that this is for the best team for this test match against Argentina. Had a conversation with Rico, and it's a competitive position. You know, we've got 2 or 3 guys now that we can pick, players that we can pick, and, you know, it's a performance-based sport, and, you know, everyone's got areas to work on, and I've gone with Anton.
So it was a form decision you made it on there?
It's on a decision for the best for this week.
How much were you impressed by Anton in San Diego and what he was able to do alongside Billy?
Very, because that's why we picked him. I think he's been a great form all year, both sides of the ball, and he's a really good voice, a good leader in our group, so we're pleased for Anton.
A couple of changes in the loose forwards, can you just talk through those?
Yeah, Luke got a wee hamstring twinge during the week, so Ethan obviously comes into 6 after having, you know, a few games in a row and playing for Tasman, and he was robust as ever in that game. And then obviously Wallace, you know, we're really pleased with him. He had a great 20-odd minutes that he had in San Diego, and gets to go again and have a bit of continuity for him and play test footy regularly.
And that's Sam Penny, he's not injured?
He's not selected this week.
Renzo, how important has it been for you to show the players that you want a competitive environment, that you're ready to make changes based on form, and, you know, keep everyone wondering about what might be happening?
Look, I think it's important. Look, I've always mentioned, you know, my job is to create a depth in the squad and the All Black team, so guys can step in, get them so they're ready, and to create depth you need to create competition. To create competition you need to, you know, to train hard and take opportunities when they're given. And yeah, it is a competitive market at the moment in the team, and the guys are stepping up to it.
In terms of your locking stocks, how do you assess things in the post-Sam Whitelock, Brodie Retallick era? I guess it's been a bit disruptive with injuries and changes.
Oh, it's exciting. I think it's exciting. We've got a big 6'8" lock coming in, and a 6'9" lock on the bench, and are good athletes. And, you know, when someone retires, someone gets an opportunity, and it's their opportunity. So we set them up the best we can to perform, and they've done it themselves as well. They've owned the role and the opportunity this week, and now it's Saturday night with a performance, so they can, you know, keep their jersey.
Does the All Blacks' recent record in Wellington give you cause for any concern?
My concern's on performance. Records look after themselves, so our focus is on respecting the Argentinians with a great week of prep.
I understand you're on the sideline for Will Jordan's game for Tasman last week in Christchurch. What did you see from him, and how's his readiness for Test rugby?
I saw a decent try, his trademark try, and anticipation off the ball. You know, he's in good nick. He's fit. He's ready to go. Obviously, Bowden's been exceptional, and to have Will Jordan coming off the bench to make an impact special in it. So yeah, a couple of guys and available around the 15 jersey is great.
And just on that bench, I guess the explosiveness, you look at some of those players, Rico, Will, Wallace as well, how much does that factor into your thinking, the bench impact and what you want out of that?
Well, you pick a 23, sometimes you start with the bench to look at the impact and how the team's going to finish and how they complement each other. And so obviously Rico can play 13 and wing and Will can play fullback and wing as well, so the utility factor is really critical, and the depth in the competition we talked about, Gregor, and those guys can create an impact off the bench with with their speed.
Coach, you've retained Sevu and Caleb on the wings. Sevu and Mark Talia on the wings. How tempting was it to look at the power game of Caleb?
Yeah, there was a long conversation, real long conversation for all of us. Caleb took his opportunity, and so did the other two wings. So it's a balance of the two, but Caleb's right there. I'm really pleased with him, and it was fine margins on the call.
In terms of concentrating, I guess, on the task in front of you,
Yeah.
you've got an important trip to South Africa coming up. I'm sure you guys, and the management coach, are looking ahead to that. But how do you keep the players' minds on, I guess, on this job right now?
Although they're clearly focused on this week, and Artie's done a great job. He stepped in there for Scott, and history's not far ago that they had an incredible game against us. They're passionate. They've got a hell of a forward pack. They're they're well coached. So on their day, they don't get to the final four in the World Cups without having a serious test team, and we're focused on them really clearly.
From July to the Rugby Championship, where are you looking for progress?
So again, sorry?
From the 3 tests in July to the Rugby Championship, obviously different opposition. Where do you want to see progress in your game?
Look, defensively we've been really pleased. The stats and tackle stats and outcomes, and they've given us opportunity to win games on the defensive side, and we're just to grow our ability with the ball to create some more opportunities and execute them. In those first two test matches we created a lot of opportunities early, didn't execute. We got into an arm wrestle and the games got close. So there's been a focus to execute, but keep trusting our skills, still be courageous. We want to play it 2-3 different ways depending on who's in front of us and with the weather.
In the 3 games that you've coached, what have you learned about the job, and is it everything you've sort of expected?
There's a lot of selectors, and which is great. Everyone's got an opinion, and that's the great thing about our national game. Everyone cares deeply about it. And I just really focused on doing my job, to lead this group, keep 2 or 3 weeks ahead, but also what's required and needed now. There's a lot of stuff, off the field that you have to do, from contracting and media.
What do you want to see from Rico to get that number 13 jersey back?
Look, those conversations are private, that we talk about the individual stuff, but probably the big thing is to trust the skill set.
And how far away was Sam Cane from being involved?
Yeah, he was deep in the discussion. Obviously his experience, he's had a few games under his belt, so he was considered, yep.
And with Patrick Tuipulotu, how long do you anticipate he'll be out for?
He'll definitely be out for this series, these 2 games. Yeah.
Your halfback selection, Scott, how did you go about that?
Oh, TJ, he can play off 1 week of training, really. Like I said last time, he sort of diagnoses himself and comes back in his own time frame. He's worked tirelessly, and he's one of those players that can walk into a test match and own it, and he's been doing great this week. And then obviously Cortez has found his feet at test level pretty quickly and works really hard each week, so they complement each other well.
You were involved as a player in a pretty close shave against the Pumas way back.
Yeah.
What are your memories of that game?
There's a lot of people at the ground. Maradona was there. There's a lot of whistling, and we got home right at the end. It was hell of an atmosphere, really passionate. Was it River Plate? River Plate? Yeah, River Plate. So it was actually quite cool to feel it had a football, like a soccer vibe to it. I was like, it was just intense, and the line-out calls and everything. Like it was an incredible atmosphere, and so many Argentinians come up to me and remind me of the moment, because it was their chance to be the first time ever to beat us, and
Because Felipe Contrami was playing in the game. He's the one who missed touch, and now you guys are finding yourselves coaching against each other. Does that feel a bit?
Oh, it's a rugby world. It's big, but it's also small. Only 1 or 2 players or coaches removed from each other, and Felipe's a hell of a coach. He's had a hell of a career, and to go back and play for your team, play for your country, and then coach your country's pretty special, and he's done it by working hard, obviously, through Leinster. And look, I'm really pleased for him. He can play
Racer.
and coach too. So.
Hola.
Hola,
From,
¿cómo
from
estás?
Argentina. Now that you talked about the match in River Plate, we remember very good because we thought it was going to be the first time that we were going to beat the All Blacks, but now, of course, we remember your try. First of all, I want to talk about Argentina. What kind of match do you expect? We heard a lot of you talking about Pablo Matera and maybe some players that are going to be important, but what kind of match do you expect?
Look, the Argentines play with emotion. That's where they draw from, the passion, what they care about, and having coached him, become good friends with my amigo, Pablo, I understand where he draws his energy from, and on their day they can scare, they can frighten you, and they can beat you. So that's why, like I said, we respected us with our preparation for them being at their best. And I just think, the physicality and the contact that they bring is a real point of difference for them. So you have to do more than match it.
And also, if you see the profile of Felipe Contepomi, the head coach, is maybe a similar story because you've both been, you've been head coach, but Felipe was also in Leinster, and you were very successful. And these are the first 3 matches for each in their national team. What are your thoughts on Felipe? I don't know if you are close, and what can you say about him?
Like I said before, I fully respect what he's done and how he's done it. He's got his hands dirty straight after playing into coaching and come through all the levels. Obviously been an assistant there for a while, but rugby takes you around the world, and for him and his family to get to Leinster and learn his craft there and come back, and you can see the beautiful tinge of the flavour of his Argentinian style, but the skill sets and the shape that he's brought with him, how he's evolved Argentina to.
Okay, guys, we might wrap things up here with over. That's all right.
Thank you. Gracias.
Thank you.
Bit of bilateral cooperation.
Take it forward. More, please.
You remember that?
Of course I remember it.
Yeah.
All right, I should have left it to you guys.
No, it's okay. It was just.
I could hear the anger in you. Oh, the fucking game.
No, I'm from Boca Juniors, and it was a big place, so don't worry.
No complete sentence.
Yeah.
So guys, Ardis are there.
Skipper.
The team for this.
How are you?
Good, thank you.
Whenever you guys are ready, questions?
Adi, you get to captain the All Blacks on your home patch. What does that mean to you? And I guess when you got told, what does that mean to you?
Yeah, it's always special being able to represent the All Blacks, let alone lead the team. So, it's special. Nothing changes though. We as a team we go out there and prepare well this week and hopefully get a performance we want.
What sort of, progress, improvement does this group want to see coming out of the July?
Yeah, I think out of the July series, we understand our game more now and the players that we're playing with around us. So really looking forward to playing the game that we've planned to play and against a quality Argentina side, which is going to be tough.
Adi, I think you've captained the All Blacks 8 times, but all of them been overseas. How special to play in a city like Wellington and get so close to you and captain them?
Yeah, I didn't know that. It'll be cool. Family and close friends will be able to come in the stands. Not the kids; they're too rowdy. It's special being in Wellington and playing an All Blacks game there. It's always special.
What sort of reception have you had in Wellington since the announcement that you're going to be leaving the Hurricanes?
Actually, it's been all good so far. Just go to the local cafe and a few conversations with some people about it. But it's been good.
As a squad, what have you learned from July that you need to improve on as you head into the Rugby Championship?
Yeah, I think it's just the skill sets under pressure, being able to adapt and adjust to different situations, scenarios in a game. But yeah, for us, it's nailing the simple things. Our breakdown. Argentina have got quality players in their team from the forwards to the backs that can attack that. So, our game can't run without our breakdown. So we need to sort that out. But yeah, it's mainly all the simple things in our game that we need to nail.
A couple of new loose forwards in the mix now. What sort of changes can we expect from that group?
Wouldn't say new with Scratch and Puppy. Played alongside them during our COVID-19 tour that we toured overseas, and they're hard-working men, and they move and they work and they grind. So it's going to be exciting, and it'll be awesome to play with them too.
And Wallace is ready for step up to the rugby championship?
Yeah, Wally's been awesome, mate. Like, so impressed on how he's handling himself, how he walks. It's a true testament to himself and how he's been brought up. But yeah, he's really impressed not only myself but many others and how he operates.
How do you like the format of playing the 2 games against Argentina at home and the 2 games against South Africa away rather than sort of splitting one each?
Yeah, for me personally, it doesn't really matter. If we're playing whoever week in, week out, it's the same. So if we've got a game on Saturday, we prep how we need to prep and go out there and try and play the best we can.
You don't feel like it makes it tougher having to play the world champions away twice?
There's always something special going over to South Africa and playing twice, but that's why we play footy, is to challenge ourselves as rugby players and go and play the best. So it will be tough, but it's exciting as well.
Artie, has it felt like you're through July that this team under new coaches has still been a bit of a work in progress, and how much of a jump do you think you can take into the rugby championship?
I think during July we had camps before that, and Razor and his team have done an awesome job coming in and really stamping their mark and what we need to do as a team. And I think the more time we spend together, the better we're going to be. And coming into camp this week and this week, just shows that we're a step ahead and we want to. So Razor's done an amazing job in bringing the boys together, and us as leaders need to drive what we need to in terms of our game.
I guess you lost a bit of experience in the locking department with Paddy and Scott not being available. What have you made of the way that Tupu and Sam have stepped in there? Yeah,
Tupu's been awesome. Sam's impressive again, come into the team and he's leading well. The boys are, this is what is expected as an All Black. You come in, if you put in the team, you do your job.
Arodi here from Argentina. I have 2 questions. I remember the last time we saw you was in the World Cup when you were awarded Best Player. But how are you preparing for this rugby championship? Getting to know, of course, you first have Argentina, then you have South Africa. Is it a little bit of a revenge? Let me know your thoughts.
Welcome.
Thank you very much.
I think for us, we're not even worried about, I wouldn't say worried, we're not focused on South Africa yet. Argentina, a strong quality side, and the last time we played them was the quarterfinals at the World Cup. So understanding our opponent in terms of their mindset of, they may be holding that in terms of this game this week. But our focus is Argentina 1, and this week that's how we've been prepping, and they've got world-class players in that squad, and we can't go and be thinking about South Africa in 2 weeks. We need to focus on what we need to do this week.
And also, now that you're going to be captain, we saw that you follow Leo Messi on Instagram, right?
Yeah.
You like football?
A little
or not
bit.
That much?
I love it. Yeah, I love players. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
I love Messi.
Okay, that's good, because Messi has been captain of Argentina, that were world champions, but he's been captain for a lot. In Argentina, football is like the most popular sport.
Yes.
And when you come to New Zealand, rugby is the most popular sport. And now that you're captain, can you tell me the good, nice things of being a captain and a role model, but also, is it like a pressure? Do you find like some tough things on being captain?
Obviously there's a lot of expectation in terms of being able to lead your men and set up the week with the coaches. But for me, pressure is a privilege, and I'm honoured and grateful to be in the position I am today, and that's the mindset that I try and walk every day. And when you have that mindset, the pressure is kind of not there. So, it is a lot of expectation, but it's something that I love to walk towards, and a lot of the leaders in the team love to walk towards.
Is it nice to be compared to Leo Messi?
For nowhere near his
Instagram followers.
Yeah.
Artie, a few questions about how tough it's going to be in South Africa, but recently the toughest place to play for the All Blacks has actually been right here in Wellington. Has there been much chat this week about the All Blacks' lack of success here lately?
Nah. As players, we put too much focus on that. We lose focus of what we need to, and people. That's a cold reality that we don't perform well in Wellington, and for us, we don't talk about that, but we can talk about each day that we try now in our preparation, and hopefully get the dub on Saturday.
As a local, do you have any ideas of why that is? Why have the team?
I don't know. I'm not too sure. I think Wellington's just a hard place. It's great atmosphere, great weather, everything about it.
Thank you, Artie.
Sweet team.
Good luck. Cheers.
Have a great day.
As I discussed before, if you're wanting to talk to some of the players.